So tonight we're talking about organizational skills. So yeah, so I was my my day is super organized. It has to be. I have 3 kids. I can't wing it. If I wing it, I'll never get through my checklist or through who I need to talk to. So this is my, my daily checklist that you all have in the back office, in the team page if you want to use. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put this in a binder. Because what I like about my checklist is the hardest thing I think to keep track of is people, right? Who did I talk to? Who do I need to follow up with? Who are my new ads? Who are my new friends? So this checklist has right there at the beginning of the day, the first thing that I do, it's my new ads, my new hellos or invites, and my follow-ups. And I have their names all right there. And then I have it, I have it by the date, by the month. So the first thing that keeps me super organized is Hootsuite. So Hootsuite.com, I paid $100 for the whole year. And that's because I have a ton of groups. Like I literally am in 40 groups, like that have to do with Beachbody. You guys aren't, okay? So you can post in 3 groups for free if you want to try out Hootsuite. It's HOOTESUITE.com. And what I do is Sunday night I sit down and I set up all of my posts for the week. So it takes a little bit of time. It takes, like, depending what I have that week, it takes 60 to 90 minutes. But then I don't have to worry about my posts at all during the day. I don't set up my personal posts ahead of time because I need the feeling of the moment to, like I can't post from the heart 15 posts on one night. Like they're not going to be, from my heart. So like I have to post when I post, but I do have, so I'll get to that in a minute. I do on Sunday night set up like what I'm going to post about. So themes help me. So like you guys probably, maybe you haven't, but like if you look at my page, you'll notice I do Motivation Monday. It's always me working out, and it's always with some kind of a motivational, let's go, here we go, it's Monday, post. I do Transformation Tuesday. So I do a story about someone's transformation story. If I don't have someone that I know, I go on the Beachbody Challenge. There's stories there. I write it in my own words. I write a story. I pick somebody that inspires me. Workout Wednesday, I always post a quick workout video. Thursday is like weird. So Thursday is either coach recognition. If someone rank advances, I think I'm going to go a little further with that and recognize coaches, not just for that, but like do a coach recognition on Thursdays, even if someone hasn't rank advanced. And then, you have like the Throwback Thursday thing you can do. And I don't always call it Thirsty Thursday. Sometimes I do, but I like to share Shakeology on Thursdays. So I like to make sure I'm sharing Shakeology once a week, but I never share it more than like twice a week, like something about Shakeology. So, I usually share it on Thursdays. And then Flex It Friday. I was doing Flex It Friday for a while, and I got inspired by Body Beast, and then I just got sick of flexing. Like, you get sick of taking selfies, so I got away from it. But, on Fridays, I usually do either something about my family. Like I'll think of like Family Friday kind of thing. Or I do a you know, a flex it post, or I'll share, you know, a recipe or like something that's coming up for the next week. I'll give like a little, you know, or I'll talk about like something cool happening that happened that week in the challenge group. So I guess Fridays I'm kind of all over the place, and then Saturday and Sunday is mostly like a lot of what I'm doing. So, you know, stuff with the kids. Sunday I usually share something with my faith. That's part of my brand. So, you know, I share something, that piece of me. But that helps. Like having those themes definitely helps. And then I fill in. So I share in between, I share recipes, I share my family. But I do on Sunday night plan that out. So like Sunday night, tonight I shared a recipe. I planned that on Sunday night, that tonight my post tonight was going to be a recipe. So I have an idea of where I'm going for the week, so that, I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I have times where I'm like, what am I going to post? Of course. But I do find if I can plan the posts ahead on Sundays, it's almost like meal prep, you know? If I can post prep 60 to 90 minutes on Sunday nights, my week is so much easier. So, you know, I get up in the morning, I get the kids off to school, and then I check my messages. I reply to messages. Oh, sorry, I put up my morning post. Then I reply to messages. And then I check into all of my groups. Then I work out, shower. Then I'm mostly with my kids. Then I have like, you know, certain days of the week I have. Mondays I have calls. Tuesday I have a couple of calls. Wednesday I leave so that I can do my own, like I focus on my business on Wednesday. So I work on projects. So for example, next week's my free group. Tomorrow I'm going to make the recipe document. I'm going to start putting together who I'm inviting. I'm going to get that event made. So Wednesdays I do a lot of like my own, you know, those other projects, those other things that you're working on. I'm sorry. I've been talking since 8 o'clock. So my throat's dry. And then Thursday nights I have calls. So Thursdays I'll like finish some stuff up. And then Fridays I kind of relax usually, like Fridays and Saturdays. So, you know, every single day I do my vital behaviors. Like I get everything done in the morning. I add my new people. I do my daily checklist in the morning. As soon as the kids leave, I put my morning post up. I get this done and then I do my workout. So this is like almost completely finished right in the morning, because that's how I do it best. If I save it till the night, if I'm trying to like start a new conversation with someone at night, it's like, hey, happy birthday, sorry I missed it. You know, like my energy's just not there. So I drink my coffee and I get it done. And then those other things, those projects and stuff, I work into certain days. So because of the point I'm at where I have a lot of coaches and I have a lot of calls with coaches and all that kind of stuff, I found that if I schedule like coach days, my business days, that's kind of what works best for me. And the Hootsuite, you know, definitely helps me out because I'm not spending, there was a point where I was spending so much of my day just posting, you know? So now I can just like kind of maintain, I check into those groups and I still post during the day. Like I'll throw in a workout selfie into the groups. I'll throw in a lunch, you know, but it's one post and I copy and paste it and I put it in all the groups and I move along. So, you know, so I don't know. I'm like this is the most disorganized organizational call. I'm like, so then I this and, you know, but basically I get my vital behaviors done. Like that's my number one thing for you guys. Get it done first thing in the morning, you know, get your workout in. If you work out first, that's fine, but get your workout in, sit down and get those 3 things done. Do your invites, do your personal development. And, oh, when do I do my personal development? I'm a multitasker. So I learned this from Melanie Mitro. I've been listening to Keith Callahan's podcast. Like that's my PD right now. I've been listening to it while I get ready. So like I shower, I listen to it while I shower, and then while I'm getting ready, I listen to the podcast. So that's my way to fit it in right now. But if you're trying to fit in personal development and you're struggling with it, try this. Try to just commit to 10 minutes in a day and do it like this. Wake up and before you get out of bed, read your book for 5 minutes. And then when you go to bed, pick the book up and read it for 5 more minutes. So have the book right near your bed and just add on 10 minutes, you know? I mean, I guess I just took away 10 minutes of your sleep, but you know what? It's good for you. So start there, start small. You know, when you're trying to do all of this, it's like, how do I do it? You know, if you can just start really small, a really small goal. It's like when you started and I said, just post once a day, that's it. Don't worry about 3 times. Worry about 1 time a day. So same thing with your PD. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I definitely need to have a system with where I keep everything. It's like I could show you right now how I keep everything and you guys would like die. You'd be like, this is our leader. But it worked for me until like right about now it's starting to get a little crazy, but I can keep a lot in my brain. So, you know, where I write stuff down, I write everything down. I don't keep like dates in my phone. I write everything on a calendar, calls, with all the kids stuff. I have everything on like one calendar. And you know what I'm going to do too? I'm going to get people like keep it on their computer. So like you have a calendar right on your, you know what I'm saying? You have a file and you have each month and you write it in there. That might work for me too, but I don't know, like if I have to open something and look at it, I don't. So for me, I need it like written and printed out. I'm a pen and paper person. So I need it printed out. So I don't know, like I know Google Docs is really good for like all that kind of stuff, but I haven't dabbled in it because to tell you, I think I wouldn't open it. That's my problem. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to let Jen take a shot at organizing you people. All right, hold on. Let me, okay.
Hi, everybody. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, so Chrissy is, you know, she works from home, like that's her full-time job. I have a out of the home full-time job, so my day is scheduled a little bit differently. So I think figuring out what works best for your current situation, whether you work full-time, part-time, have kids, you need to figure out what works best for you and that you can stay consistent with every day, because that's another big part of being organized is staying consistent and being able to make sure you're doing the same, you know, vital behaviors, you know, day in and day out, and keeping, it just helps keep yourself on track. So my morning, you know, I get my workout done first thing in the morning because I know I'm not going to do it when I get home after work, have the kids, you know, bedtime routine and all that jazz. So, you know, I do my workout. My morning posts are almost always about my workout because that's a big thing for me. And I've noticed like people that do pay attention to my posts, like they like to know what I'm doing with my workout, you know, where I'm at, how I'm progressing. So that works for me. So my morning post is always something workout related. So I get those two things done first thing in the morning, you know, get ready, drop the kids off at school, go to work. And then I'll post, as soon as I get to work, I usually post in my groups, because I've tried Hootsuite, but it doesn't seem to work for me. I'm going to have to talk to Chrissy about that one. But and then, so I'll post in my groups, and then I kind of have to shut off social media for a while because then I have to work my regular job. And so I'll work, you know, right through up until my lunchtime. My lunchtime is usually my power hour. So I'll either have, you know, my 15-minute call with Chrissy. I'll have calls with other coaches, you know, during that time. I also do my invites, my follow-ups, and my adding of people during my lunch hour as well. I found that with messaging people, everybody's kind of on their phone or near a computer on their lunch hour. So I can get messaging in and it's not going to drag on throughout my day because we all have to get back to work. So it's kind of been a good little spot for me to message with people. After lunch, I go back to my regular work and then, you know, pick up the kids, get home, do dinner and all that fun stuff. And then once they're in bed, I kind of do another power hour where I have, you know, one-on-one calls with my coaches, do these team calls, you know, with Alpha Omega, or I'll try and sit in on, you know, a Fit Mama call every now and then if I can make it. And that's kind of my day. I do fit in personal development while I'm at work. Mostly like I'll listen to YouTube videos. So like I'll just plug my headphones in at the computer and, you know, while I'm crunching numbers, I'm just listening to, you know, someone talking about, you know, the Beachbody business or leadership or something like that. And that's kind of how I fit that into my day right now. Another thing that keeps me super duper organized is I'm kind of like Chrissy. I like paper and pen, and I have like an enormous daily planner, and it's like my Bible. It goes with me everywhere. And I like the ones that plan out, like, I'll try and move my screen back, but like they plan out by day and like by hour. So I'll put like who I have calls with on this. You know, I list who I'm chatting with that day on here. I also have like a daily checklist. Like I know some people use different types of BATs or power hour lists. I actually have Bob Lucido's daily disciplines like stapled to the front of my daily planner. So I just go to it every day. It's like the first thing I look at, and I just kind of check off, like, am I doing this today? And then it's kind of how I keep myself organized. You know, I haven't done like a lot on the computer, like Chrissy. I don't have like documents saved. Pretty much the only thing that I have on like a flash drive are the like the programs, the program posts for the set groups that I have. Like I have those files saved on my flash drive. I'll just pop those in and do the copy and paste there for the groups. And like I'll save some documents there for if I'm running a free group, videos, that sort of thing. So I can just go to that when I need it. And another good thing is if you have like a notes section on your cell phone, Chrissy is good with like helping with follow-up tips and things like that. Or if I'm listening to a YouTube video, I'll like quickly, you can either type it, but I kind of speak, I don't know if your phone's like you can speak to your phone and it writes out all the words for you. So that's a huge time saver. So I'll put in my notes section like different responses to people's, you know, questions or objections, and I'll just, you know, say it and then save it. So this way I can just copy and paste it when I need it. And it's always on my phone because my phone's always with me. So that's just another way that I kind of keep myself organized. That's pretty much as organized as I get.
that's a really good tip with the notes. And you know what, Jen? I think I had that exact planner, and it ran through 2015. But it is good. It's really fat. It has all the times, and that's really nice because it's all in one spot. And I would even put my kids' stuff. Like I'd be like, you know, Noah has karate, Sophia has dance. Like everything's there for each day. But I think the common theme that you have too is like you get your 3 vital behaviors done in chunks. Like you have the times of day that you're only doing that. And if you do that, you get it done really fast. If you're doing that and something else, then that's where it's hard. So like, whether it's you get up a little early, like if it's the kids that are getting in the way, or, you know, if instead of going on a lunch hour, like you eat and do this, however you can work that in, but that you're actually working on this, it actually goes by pretty fast. It doesn't take a long time to add a couple new people, message a couple of people, and follow up and be like, hey, how you doing? How's it going, to a couple of people. So that's good thinking though with the notes.
Yeah, it's been a lifesaver lately, just because I've had so many different scenarios, and I've listened to a lot of like I like listening to Megan Evilson, and she like reads off scripts sometimes on some of her YouTube team calls. And I'm like, oh, that's really good. And so I'll just say it like right into my phone's notes section, and I save it for when the occasion might, you know, arrive, or I'll take a piece here and there for a conversation that I'm, you know, having with someone. I'm like, oh, this kind of can work itself in there, and I'll reword it a little bit, but it really helps out and saves time from, you know, trying to remember, like scrolling through, you know, Messenger or text with, you know, Chrissy or Joanne or whoever. And I'm like, when did they say this? And scrolling down. So if I have it in the notes, it's easier to find it there. I do have to say, like in the beginning, nobody's organized. Like you try and think like you have to do everything right away, and your schedule is all over the place. It took a really long time for me to realize, like, I need a schedule, I need to be organized, and these are the chunks, like where I'm gonna do Beachbody within my regular day. Because I think everybody's all over the place in the beginning, and you're trying to, you know, balance it. But, you know, once you find your groove and like what works for you, you know, stick with it and then tweak it. But, you know, you don't have to match Chrissy's, you don't have to match mine, you have to match what works for you in your day.
Does anybody, I won't make you talk, you can just go like this. Does anybody use like Google Docs or anything like that? Like have a system with technology involved that they use yet? No. All right. I do have, I know what Melanie Mitro uses. I mean, she said that she mostly uses pen and paper, but she will go into, I think it's in Google Docs. So I'll share that on our page. She talked about it at the leadership. Melanie Mitro. It's kind of like her filing system, you know? So she uses pen and paper for all of her contacts, but then she will go in every like 1 to 2 weeks and update, and she'll put like the last time she talked to each person and that kind of thing. So she does have, you know, I mean, comparatively, she signs a coach a day. So, you know, pen and paper, like, you know, like, I don't know, like she did say like to a certain point, she only did pen and paper because that's how she look, you know, I'm like that. That's what I'm going to go back to and look at and read. And that's what my brain can take. And, I don't know, I process the pen and paper better than when I'm reading it on a screen. It like doesn't go in the same way. So, but you know, some people are just the opposite. They need like a chart or a, you know, they need a Excel spreadsheet of some kind, or, you know, they need something, you know, their brain works that way. So if that is what you need, then you should do that. You should start a Google Doc, for example, or some kind of spreadsheet where you have it and you have like, okay, these are the names of my people. Here's the dates. This is the day, I talked to them this day about such and such. I talked to them this day about such and such. And you keep track of who you talk to when and about what. So, all right. Amanda, do you have anything you do?
I think everybody pretty much covered a lot of what I do. My schedule is probably just a lot different because I have a young baby who's 8 months old who's a sleep stealer. He doesn't let me sleep, so he's like a monster. So I'm still trying to figure out how to get everything done on my current schedule. So that's been tough because now I work in the evening. So I work from 4 p.m. to midnight. So like 3 days a week, I'm out of the house when most people are at home and on Facebook. So that's been challenging. But I have worked a lot with Hootsuite and Postcron, which it's spelled Postcron. And that's sort of like Hootsuite. I just find it easier to use. And I don't know, Chrissy, if there's like a difference between the paid version of Hootsuite versus the free version, because I've never had the paid version. But I just don't find it user friendly. I like Postcron, and they give you a certain number of groups that you can post in, including your personal page and Twitter. So setting up posts ahead of time can be key. Like I'm kind of like Christy in that sense. I can't set up like a whole week's worth of posting. It just doesn't work like that for me. But it's on my do list to try to be more proactive with setting up my post before I go into work that night. But my day usually starts with waking up, unfortunately, at like 7:30, 8 o'clock after working, and I'm getting my morning post in right away, and I get my oldest to preschool, and then me and the baby hang out, and I try to answer as many messages at that time that I can before he goes down for his nap. So I guess my day is pretty organized too. So I do my invites, my messaging. I try to check in with all of our groups at that time, and then I get my workout in. And then after that, I spend time with my oldest who comes home from school. So that time's kind of occupied. So I kind of shut off social media too at that time. And then really my most focused time is usually from like 8 to 9. And that has always been like, that was my power hour before I had my second son. And I really just find that it works really well for me. So like kids in bed, ideally 7:30, and then I just get on the computer and start. I feel like my creative juices are flowing at that time. Like I have all these plans and I have to like write stuff down, like things I want to accomplish. But that's just the time that works for me. And then I try to get on team calls around 9. So 8 to 9 is focus time. I maybe finish some of the conversations I started in the morning, or continue to form with people. A lot of people are sitting on the couch and they're on social media, I find, around that time too. So I think that's about it. I've been trying to be more organized on paper, and I am going to be expanding to like some kind of documentation, like either Google Docs, or there's a couple other ones that I'm learning about in one of my Northeast Diamond training calls. I will post in Team Alpha Mega once I get maybe a couple more examples of other computer organized programs that people are using that are working for them. But I've been going to like the piece of paper. So I just found this business activity tracker. I forgot who posted it in what group, but I can send you guys a document. And it pretty much just has like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And you probably can't see, but this column is like who you're forming with on that day. And these are like all your follow-ups. So people that you're following up with, which I mean, yes, they can overlap forming and following up, like that it's not always separate, but sometimes it is. Like if you have a new person that you just added, and then like your invites to the group for the week are on that side, and then like there's just a checkbox like, did you post 3 times a day in Facebook, your 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 8 p.m. work, and then did you do your workout? Just checking it off has been helpful. Actually, it's actually making me more productive, and I'm looking back and now being like, oh my gosh, I need to follow up with this person as I'm looking at this. So you do forget about things if it's not written down. And the next page on this BAT just has some notes. Did you check in with your sponsorship drill down? So make sure you're checking into your back office. I know people don't always do that every day, but you should, especially once you rank advanced to diamond. You want to secure that diamond, so you should be looking and knowing what's going on with your coaches. And that's the other thing no one really talked about, is checking in on your team page too. Like, I make sure that I do that, and I've been touching base with a lot of my coaches, including discount coaches, because I feel like that's something I failed to do when I first hit diamond, and then I had a lot of people drop off, and I think I wasn't as engaging as a leader. So I've been trying to stay on top of my team page and just stay engaging in that way. So I think that was the only other things I wanted to add. Oh, and I do a power hour checklist too. I have to check it off. And if you guys want any of this stuff, let me know, because I can post it too. I also do my personal development in the shower and while I'm getting ready, and I find it's the only way I can squeeze it in. It's the best advice I got from Melly Mitro as well. And driving to work. I try not to do it when the kids are in the car, because I just need to relax and have them listen to music. But when I'm alone, I really find that it helps me focus. And I get tons of ideas going. So yeah, whenever I'm driving, you can just plug your iPhone into, you have Bluetooth, just plug your phone in and listen to, I like podcast. Shalene Johnson has a kick butt podcast. She's just awesome, and I love her. So that's my current PD. And I try to keep the Kindle next to on my nightstand, but I'm too much of a zombie right now to read in the morning. But it used to work for me. I used to read a lot on my Kindle. So that's a good tip. I think that's it.
That was awesome. Amanda, will you share both of those for us? I had another brainstorm. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say sometimes Amanda and I have calls while I take a shower.
Yes, you do.
That's multitasking. One time she's like, "Are you in the shower?" I was like, "Yes." But we're like this, So you got to multitask. If that's the only way you can talk, it's the only way you can talk sometimes, but it's happened. So the basics are, you need some kind of a checklist. You need it somewhere of this is what I have to do every single day. And I'll tell you guys, there are days that I look at this checklist and I'm like, I didn't drink my shake today. Mm-hmm. I didn't do any PD today. You see really quickly where you're falling short when you have this checklist in front of you. And, for some of you, it might be you never check into the coach page. You never check in the online office, but you see where your weakness is. And my suggestion is you then go and do that first. Whatever you're really struggling with getting done, do that first thing, when you sit down to work on your checklist. You also can break it up. You can take the list and, cut it in half and do half at one point in the day and half at another. So it doesn't have to be, what we modeled, what our thing is. You have to take it and make it work for you. But if you don't have a list, I promise you, you're not doing all of it 5 to 6 days a week. I promise you. So pick a list, even take all the lists and make your own, just don't leave anything out of that's essential, like 3 vital behaviors, for example, and then stick to it, and sticking to it means 5 to 6 days a week. There was something else you said, Amanda, that was really, when I said that we've talked on the phone while I take a shower, everyone was like,
Nah.
Yes, every face was
I
like,
did it to you the other day too.
every face was like, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's called speakerphone.
As long as you're not chatting.
No, we don't Zoom chat. Give me a break.
No.
But the point is, like, you know, for me, a lot of it, you know, I'm home, but I have to make it fit because, you know, there's certain times a day I'm doing this to be with my kids. So I'm not doing this to put my kids in front of a television and, you know, ignore them all day. So, you know, there's still, my day is still taken up by those things too. So yeah, like I was saying, if this isn't what you need, like if you need it to be electronic, make it electronic. But whatever you do, make a list and stick to it. That's step one of organization, you know, and get it done 5 to 6 days a week. All right, does anybody have like comments or questions? Or I was gonna show you Hootsuite if you wanted, but we don't have to do that. It's 22-minute half hour. I don't know. Does anybody have any? I can do like if anybody really wants to, so I had the opposite, like with Postcron, I found Postcron not as user-friendly for posting like, my pictures and stuff. Like, I don't know. I had a hard time with my phone sometimes. So I went to Hootsuite and it was a little tricky, but like I've definitely figured it out. So we can just save it. Like if you guys, everybody can try it out for free. Even if you have a zillion groups, you only can put 3 groups in it for free. That's the thing. So if you want to like try it out and then start asking me questions as you're trying to use it, I can help you with it. I'm not a pro. I've only been, I've been doing it for a few months, but I definitely can. I know how to post. I know how to edit it. I know how to change the schedule, add a group, all that kind of stuff. So,
do you use the app from your phone mostly?
No, but like
you do that?
On Sunday nights, I sit at the computer because my phone. I'm so slow on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm Polish and my fingers are big, so I hit too many keys at once.
What?
So if I'm trying to do like 60 minutes of work on my phone, on my laptop would be closer to 2 hours on my phone. Like I'm really, I don't know. But yeah, like I will throw up posts. Sometimes I will set up my morning post the night before. And I do that usually from my phone.
Oh, Chrissy, question. How many days a week are you talking about the opportunity? Like how many days are you setting like a number for yourself? Like I'm going to talk about the business in like, indirect way, at least 2 times a week, 3 times a week. Did you set a number for yourself or
in my Facebook posts?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to talk about coaching every day. Every time I post about Beachbody, I'm trying to talk about coaching. So like my daily post that's about Beachbody somehow incorporates coaching. But I would suggest like if you're just starting, you really can just be like, I'm a coach and I want to help you, and then I'd say like 3 to 6 months in, once a week, and then 6 to 9 a couple times a week, and then 9 to 12 3 times a week, 9 to 12 months and up 3 times a week, I would say. And it doesn't always have to be, like tonight I posted a recipe. But I talked about how I love that coaching puts me out of my comfort zone to try new recipes. Like that's all. It's just that one little extra piece there that maybe somebody will see that and be like, I could use that motivation, to do that. Or they're already on the fence and that one other thing will connect. So it's like all those little puzzle pieces. Yeah, so I'm trying, like I post about Beachbody 5 to 6 days. I'm really trying to have all of them incorporate coaching. I'm not there 100%, but I'm like, that's my push right now.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, definitely, I think right out of the gate, once a week, you should mention that you're a coach. I think this is where people run into the problem too, where people are like, oh, you inspired me. I bought the 21-day fix on Amazon, you know, and you're like, you know, so talking about, when you talk about it, just like that you're a coach and that, you know, that you have a group and someone in the group inspired you to do such and such, just those little things added in there, sprinkled in, you know, tell the whole story that you're not just an enthusiast, but this is a business and, you know, you're helping people. What's up, Lisa? Do you know how to unmute?
Sorry. Yeah, I guess I figured that out. Technologically impaired. So I have these couple of people that are going to be there. They've contacted me and they're like, hey, I've seen your results. I'm excited of what you're doing. I'd really like to hear more about it and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, that's great. What do you like about it? What do you want to try? Yada, yada. And most of the time it's the shakes. So I say, oh, well, I'll send you a couple of packets just so you can try it and make sure that it's not chalky, yada, yada. And I go through that spiel. But I'm afraid that I'm going to lose them by either Amazon or ordering on their own without going through my website, even though I send them the link to my website. So what I found is on the mobile app, you can add them as a member without making them purchase anything. And that way you become their coach. So if they do go and purchase something and log in with their email and whatnot, they'll automatically be underneath you. Is that bad or is that?
I love this girl. Can you believe this girl? This is the stuff that she comes and tells me. No, Lisa, this is something that I would teach you in another month or something. It's like, did you guys, it's like, she's just figuring it out. All right. So yes, this is perfect. If you have their email, then you set them up and yes, no, that's not bad. And you can just tell them, you can be like, hey, listen, I'm going to send you some packets. Can I have your email so I can set you up with me as your free coach?
And then I tell them no purchase necessary for me to be your coach. Yeah,
you can even just say with me as your free coach,
right.
You know, and you can be like, I do, you know, I'm going to be running free groups with my coach. And so like, I actually don't even explain it. I'll just be like, with me as your free coach. And they're usually like, yeah, of course. I mean, they already came to you. So, you know, so you're just kind of like tying that up. That's perfect.
And that's not a bad business tactic or.
No, that's great.
Too pushy or, okay, cool.
No, not at all. You're being a leader, you know, and as their coach, you're going to lead them. And so it's, you know, you have to take that, the thought of push and think more of a pull. You know, you're pulling them along and you're not like, you're asking them, you're not forcing them. And when you say free, they're like, yeah, free, woo, okay, you can be my coach, of course, you know? So that's awesome.
And they came to you first, too.
What's that?
I said, and they came to you first.
True.
So.
Yeah, so it just kind of seals it up that, you know, they're with you. And then if they did go to Beachbody.com, because some people don't know, they'll just go to Beachbody.com, but when they put their email in, it's going to connect them back to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I'm afraid of. It's like, oh, go to Beachbody.com and check out the programs. And I try to send them the link to my site, but if they're at work and they got 5 minutes and they just want to check it out, they're not going to think of, let me get to Lisa's link. They're going to think of Beachbody.com and I see a lot of people putting out there, oh, this person just ordered the 21-day fix and they didn't do it through me. And it's like, darn, what a loss there, you know? And okay, I'm done.
No, you're good. And then the other thing is, if you're having them check out all the programs, but that's different. But if you can narrow down, if you can be like, hey, you know, what are you looking mostly for? Do you need mostly help with the eating or the exercise or both? If they say both, I'm going to send them a 21-day fix video. I'm going to send them a Shakeology video. And then I'm going to get a couple other ideas like, hey, are you more of like a Pilates yoga kind of person? Pilates yoga? Are you more like hammer me with cardio? Do you really like to weightlift? And then when they give you that idea, or do you like a mix, you know? then you can send them another idea. Like if they're like, oh yeah, I love Pilates and yoga, you're going to send them the PIO video, you know? So you can narrow down too and like send them the actual, you can even just be like, Chrissy, can you, what PIO video would you send? I'll send it to you and then you have it, you know, you can save it in your favorites. Yeah, and then sign them up with you as your free coach and then you're good. They're in with you. Yeah.
Okay.
Good tip.
Thanks.
Anybody else? All right. Well, you guys have inspired me to get a little more organized. I'm going to get some binders, Matt's going to help me.
I'm good at organizational things.
He's wicked good at organizing.
Organize the crap out of this house.
He does. He organizes stuff. Like he's really good at organizing. So Matt's going to help me. And, you know, maybe we'll have on another call, I'll show you my progress. I'll take it before. I'm not going to show you it because I won't sleep tonight. If I like show you this and get off the thing, I'll have like such anxiety of what you guys think about my disorganization. But I'll take a picture so that I can show you the before and after of my organized life, my organized business. So, all right.
Tanya's on here. Tanya, I talked to that coach. I private messaged him, and we've been talking for a couple hours. I put him in the group, and he's like really pumped up. So
yeah, he was psyched when I mentioned it. So thank you.
No problem. He seems like he's like really motivated. He's like ready to go. So
cool. Yay. Thank you.
No problem.
Sorry, I'm sitting here in the dark. My little guy is still awake running around.
Oh, he is? How old is he?
2, but he just 2.5, but he just went into his big boy bed. So
Oh boy.
walking around.
Yes. I don't miss that. That's tough. All right, guys. Well, thank you for being you. Good night. And Amanda, you're going to post that stuff, right? And Jen, can you take a picture of your planner and post it? I know that you're going to feel silly. You can blame me. You can be like, Chrissy made me do this. But I actually want to see if it's the same planner. Can you post like the front and then like a picture of the pages? You can just text them to me if you feel awkward. But does everybody want to see it? Do you want to see Jen's planner? I knew it. See? All right. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you.